Water, water, I like you. You make the earth cool and wet, the trees beautiful, wow, and green. Water, water, I like you. You make the earth cool and soft, the flowers pretty sure and colorful. Water, water, I like you. You make us happy, ha ha ha, and cheerful.
Lela is a rural community in Kenya. It's a half-hour over dirt roads to the nearest major town, and 7 hours by bus from Nairobi. The people of Lela are resourceful. They work, educate their children, tend their crops, all without the basic needs that many of us take for granted. And for much of the year, they deal without the most basic of needs, access to clean drinking water. In 2012, the Oregon State University chapter of Engineers Without Borders USA, in a partnership with the people of Lela, set out to solve that problem. This is their story.
This trip is really the culmination of 3 years of work. There's been dozens of people involved in the project. We've submitted, 7 technical reports, and we've really done our homework.
Engineers Without Borders USA is a national organization that partners 2 communities. The first being our community at OSU, and in this specific case with community in Kenya. And the goal is to increase the capacity of both communities to meet basic human needs. Lela is on the southwest corner of Kenya, near the border of Tanzania. We're going to be drilling a borehole for a water well and implementing a rainwater catchment system.
Working with the communities as a partnering organization, not as an outside organization that's coming in with this idea of what the community needs and implementing something that isn't going to be sustainable because the community either doesn't want the system that you're implementing or doesn't know how to maintain it. And so we emphasize community leadership and community involvement in all aspects of the project.
The people, I know that they really need water, and if water was available to them, it would change so much, like their lifestyle, what they can do and what they will do, it definitely will change that. And I hope I can be part of that change. I did go through some of those things, and they really stick with me, and I know how important those can be to others as well.
Well, we left the United States 4 days ago, and we had a long trip here to Kenya. Finally arrived in Nairobi the day before yesterday, took a bus to Migori, and here we are in Lela. The order of business for today is to sign the Memorandum of Understanding with the Women's Committee, and we'll be starting drilling, and we'll kind of meet as a team and try to figure out our plan for the next 3 weeks.
The Women's Water Committee is a group of women who have co-aligned in order to bring water to the community, and it's their job to manage the system. The committee is primarily composed of women in the community, just stakeholders who have an interest in getting water for the community.
Approximately, the people who are living in this area, they are like around 2,000 people who are living within Lela. The most interesting thing in this small community is about the togetherness and the culture that our great-grandfather left that has been helping some people maybe to make Lela be known. That even some people from other areas around across the world. I want to see our Lela growing and they get the basics need that we people in the major towns are getting so that we can cooperate together and grow this world the way it's supposed to be.
The scenery here in this rural part of Kenya is absolutely incredible. It's a place where life still feels like it has a sense of purity. It's not the big cities where there's pollution everywhere. It is a place that is full of poverty. It's only cash poverty. It's not necessarily a social poverty.
The goal of the first phase of the project was to expand the rainwater catchment system at the Lela Primary School by adding 3 10,000-liter tanks, providing access to water throughout the drier months. Clean water and education go hand in hand, with fewer missed classes due to waterborne illnesses or the long hours needed to travel great distances to haul water.
There was a man named Johnston in the community who was an exceptional craftsman, and he is the local Fundi, and he has a group of young men who are his construction workers, and so he's essentially been our subcontractor, and we've just used him for the majority of the rainwater catchment work. So we're paying him, and then we're going to have volunteers also for some of the work that doesn't take as much skill as he and his workers have.
Water is life. It is life to us, to the children, because in this area it gets dry at some point. The rivers get dry, so we have to go a long way in search for water. So when we have water, the tanks, when it rains, then it brings life to Lela. People get water easily, and so they don't have to walk for a long way looking for water.
come from inside, so expand so that it cannot come.
Yes. Okay, that works.
The tanks on the rainwater catchment are almost finished. We're just working on getting the lip around the tank in place and concreted in, and then there'll be some little adjustments and fixes here and there, but essentially like the system is in working order, and we're pretty confident that'll be all done by the time we leave.
Within Lela, or the neighbors of Lela, the schools that are next to Lela, there is no any school, no any single school, even a secondary school, that has got like 3 or 4 or 2 or even 1 water tank that measures 10,000 liters. So the community was like, this is like a dream come true. This is a partnership where I used to emphasize to them that the key thing for a community to grow is for you guys to partner. You don't need to be like different, like you need to be on your own. The best thing is people to partner. So partnership with Engineer Without Borders has really, really helped, and I know the name of Lela, as Lelans, the name has gone very far. Yes.
Anytime a camera is brought out, there's a swarm of children laughing, rolling on the ground, making fun of the Mzungus. I feel terrible walking by the school because they're so incredibly distracted with the handful of Mzungus here that they have probably never seen. But they're incredible. It's really a pure humor. They haven't luckily seen the corruption of lots of big city life, and it's refreshing, to be honest. It's really refreshing to see that kind of humor, that kind of attitude. It's just a good time, really.
The kids are really funny. They are super sassy, and they've been making fun of us a little bit, which has been funny, but they're all really nice, and they're all really smart. The biggest thing that I think people mistake about rural places in Kenya is that the people are of a different kind, maybe, I don't know, but it's a big mistake to think that the people here aren't really smart. Yeah.
For the next phase, the team worked with the community to plan the drilling of a centrally located well, giving residents access to water throughout the year, including the dry season.
Wells in general are always uncertain because you're drilling into the ground and you don't know what is down there, especially in this part of Kenya where there's very limited data available. And so the only thing we're going off of is a hydrogeologic survey that was performed by the government of Kenya, the Ministry of Water and Irrigation, back in December 2011. The survey predicts water at a depth of 85 meters where we're going to be drilling, but that's a prediction. And so with a well, you always have your fingers crossed hoping that you hit water, and even if you do hit water, you don't know if the yield is going to be substantial enough to provide water year-round.
You know, there is a chance that we will get water from this, but the other way around could happen, and we are prepared for that. You know, if it doesn't, it doesn't. We had to try it. It's at some point we knew that with this community we had to try it, so we just are going to try it this time. We all want to think that it will happen, there will come water, and that's what kind of it's most exciting to think about and to hope for, and that's how we will go there hoping.
Yeah, yesterday we started drilling around 10:30, and we were able to drill to 200 feet below ground surface. We picked up some water at starting to pick up water about 98 feet, and got some significant water at about 120 feet. After that, we didn't pick up any more water. So today we're now left with the choice of whether we drill deeper or we can complete the well at this depth. So right now they're pulling out the drilling bit from the well, and we're going to do a little bit of testing to see how much water is in the well and approximately what the yield is. We have a problem because we don't have a pump, so we'll have to be using the air compressor on the drill rig to blow out water, and then we can measure how fast it recovers. I'd like to be able to test the pulse at 20 liters. It's a very good professional drilling team. They've been just super. My personal interest is that they've mounted a air rotary rig on a agricultural tractor, a full-scale air rotary rig, and it's amazing how that works.
The struggle to get water during dry season, it is something that it's really tiresome, and it is hard. That if you come to Lela during dry season, the wells that were there are dry because we have got this. They are very shallow well, so the wells do not have like large volume of water inside them. So you find the people who suffer a lot during dry season are women and children.
Testing was required to ensure that the well would still draw water during the dry season, but the first test pump failed. And as time and funds began to run short, the team had to find another.
That is what I'm working on right now.
Okay.
We're way out and basically in the African bush, so we need to find another pump. And you can't just run to Home Depot and get another pump or call someone else up, because that takes literally days. And so we're scrambling with the driller, trying to get a hold of another pump to put down the well and to get this kind of information. We finally got a pump, we got the information we needed, and it all worked out fine in the end. But again, that's just kind of the way projects go. It's that kind of environment, and it's different constraints in that sort of culture. So what's really important about the test that we did was to prove that the yield for this well is sufficient throughout the year. So in the rainy season, the ground has more, it has more water in it. This well was deep enough that it goes into the permanent water table. So year-round, thanks to our test, we know that it will have sufficient yield and it will do its job throughout the year and for a long, long time to come.
The well pad has been concreted in. They've disinfected the shaft, and now all they have to do is install the handle on the pump. So that should be in working order either today or tomorrow too. So it's pretty exciting that we've kind of come to the end and we're seeing everything come together. It's pretty cool.
We're coming up very close to the end of the trip, so we're all kind of scrambling. We're fairly tired because of all the stresses in the situation, but also the dynamic of that kind of travel and that kind of project. And out of nowhere, a group of guys come and no questions asked, they just start taking the pipes, fitting them with us, putting it down. We start relaying, and we don't really know who these guys are. And it's happened before. In Kenya, it's really just that kind of culture. If you see something going on, some projects, it doesn't matter if they're actually tired or not, they're just going to go help because that's just the way it's done. And what we realized later at basically the grand ceremony for this well was that those guys who came and helped us were actually the band who would come that day in the back of a pickup all the way from Tanzania. It really stuck with a lot of us as this magical moment.
Wait, do it.
Keep going.
Okay.
So then it just gravity flows out of the out of here.
Yep. Wow.
Okay.
Yep, exactly what it's supposed to do.
Yep.
One. Here comes. 2, 3. Yay!
Right now, we have just installed the Africa pump on the well which we have drilled, and it's pumping water. The water from the well is coming out, and everyone is so excited. We are so happy that this moment has come, and we are present to acknowledge it. We hope that many people will use this water, and it will have a great quality.
The future of this project is, it's a little bit of a mystery at the moment. We kind of are working on talking with the community members about what they're looking for in the future and how they see their community in the next year, 5 years, 20 years down the road. So we really don't know, but we're hoping in the next day or two to do some exploration into what we can do for them on our next trip. It could be another well, it could be another rainwater catchment somewhere else. We don't really know. It could be something totally different. So we're just going to try and, over the next couple of days, try and start to figure that out.
Initially, I thought, well, it's a fun way to get involved and build, get some skills and build some friendships. But everything changed once I traveled. Once you travel, it becomes much more real, and it becomes much more about the partnership that you've made with the community and the friendships that you made. Paul Alongo, who was our translator and our guide for the last trip, he's one of my best friends now. I mean, I call him every week. For me, it's become much more about the personal connection that I have with the people of Lela, and really it comes from an understanding of what their lives are like on a daily basis, and living there in the community for several weeks and seeing the way they live and how great of people they are and how welcoming they are and how generous they are. You really build this connection that's very personal.
Working with Engineers Without Borders has really expanded my knowledge, my ability, and my heart to love the people who are surrounding you. It has really, really helped me in so many ways.
Let him go. Oh, Paul, you just ruined the tag. Yeah, leave it for me.